Now, the second couch within the social couch, rise of middle class in France. This middle class, which was emerging in French society, comprised of merchants, which were busy in merchandise there, businessmen, artisans, and peasants. That means all the influential merchants, big businessmen, artisans, and big peasants, including the intellectual professionals working or indulging in different professions like doctors, lawyers, and teachers, are under this middle class. And this middle class was very much influential in the society now, and its influence was growing per day due to its increase in the property, in the intellect, in the society. So we can say that its influence in the society was growing because there was intellectual and comparatively richer class. So their popularity and the influence on the administration and within the society was increasing per day. The third factor within this couch is that since they were now arguing for their status in the society, they were giving credit to the government in their distress and the crisis, and in return they wanted equality and liberty. That means a hike of their status in the society. So now ready to reject the superiority of first and second state of the society, because the persons of the first and second state were not ready to give equal status to this new growing middle class. So a dissatisfaction from this structure, the status of the middle class persons, was growing, and in this condition this social structure really made a platform on which growing dissatisfaction among the mass per day made a platform to begin the French Revolution. Now I deal the second couch, economic couch. Under it, following factors were influential. One of the first was that royal treasury was empty due to extravaganza of royal courts and family. Royal family of France, that means king and his family, and the royal court were busy always in celebrating different ceremonies and living a very lavish life. Really had burdened very much the royal treasury, and due to that it was now in empty condition, and the king had no way to increase the income. The second factor is that in France all through production of food grain could not keep pace with the increase in the production as it rose $28 million in 1789 from 23 million in 1715. That means फ्रांस की आबादी वास्तव में रेनेसां पीरियड के बाद जो नया दौर इन्वेंशन और डिस्कवरी का आया तो सामान्य तौर पे सोसाइटी के कंडीशन में काफी सुधार आया, और इस सुधार आने की प्रक्रिया के बढ़ने के साथ ही इन 10th सेंचुरी बेटर इन्वायरमेंट कंपेरेटिवली मिलने के कारण फ्रांस का पॉपुलेशन काफी अधिक बढ़ गया था और ये 23 मिलियन जो 1715 में था उससे बढ़कर 28 मिलियन। लेकिन टू फीड दीज पॉपुलेशन वॉट एवर द सरप्लस फूड ग्रेन वाज टू ग्रो was now not possible due to many reasons, due to bad harvest and also the bad harvest due to bad weather. So production of food grain could not keep pace was also a big factor. Hunger and poverty was now common and it filled a great dissatisfaction among the mass. The second one was the prolonged war between England and France. In the reign of Louis XIV, Louis XIV के राज्यकाल में there was a very long period in which England and France both were busy in war for their superiority. So in this war the burden on the treasury was increased very much, and after getting thrown in 1774 Louis XVI also gave an assistance to 13 colonies of USA, America, in their war of independence, even taking the credit from the big merchants of their country. So, really, it added the salt. Prolonged war between England and France, as well as the military and economic assistance of France to 13 colonies. Of America in their war independence, in their war efforts, added the burden on the treasury. फ्रांस की हालत एक बार फिर खस्ता हुई जब लुई 16 ने अपने अदूरदर्शी नीति से इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ दुनिया के दूसरे भाग में भी अपने उस पॉलिसी को जारी रखा जो लुई 14 के समय में था। यह कुछ हद तक भारत में भी जारी था। भारत के इतिहास को जब आप पढ़ेंगे तो उस समय पता चलेगा कैसे फ्रेंच और इंग्लिश, जो कि यहाँ कंपनी थी ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और फ्रेंच ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी, उसके बीच राइवलरी चली और इसके चलते हमारे यहाँ भी इनके बीच कई स्टेज पे है ना 3 कर्नाटिक वार्स होते हैं। तो दुनिया भर में जहाँ कहीं भी फ्रेंच और इंग्लैंड के कॉलोनियल इस्टेब्लिशमेंट थे वहाँ यह वार शुरू हुआ और इसके कारण काफी धक्का लगा फ्रांस के रॉयल ट्रेजरी को। एक कह सकते हैं कि इसमें स्थिति उस समय और खराब हो गई जब इनका जो कर्ज था, डेब्ट था, वो बढ़ता बढ़ता मोर देन 2 बिलियन लीवर हो गया। लीवर जो उस समय का जैसे यूरो है फ्रांस में एक करेंसी, हमारे देश का जो है रुपया है, रुपी है, हर देश की अलग अलग करेंसी है। हम यूएसए की जो है डॉलर है, स्टर्लिंग, इंग्लैंड की पाउंड है, होने वाले है अभी फिर भी है ना, कहीं अभी समूचे यूरोप में यूरो चल रहा है। ठीक वैसे ही उस समय फ्रांस की जो करेंसी थी वो लीवर थी। तो इनकी करेंसी में जो अगर कर्ज है अपने ही देश के क्रेडिटर से इसने 2 बिलियन से ज़्यादा ले लिया और उसको चुकाने का इनके पास कोई साधन रह नहीं गया और कंडीशन उस समय बुरा हो गया व्हेन द कंडीशन बिकेम वर्स्ट, क्रेडिटर स्टार्टेड चार्जिंग द इंटरेस्ट रेट एट द रेट ऑफ 10%। इसका मतलब यह है व्हेन द किंग हैड डिनाइड टू पे द इंटरेस्ट, the rate of interest was hiked by the creditors and king had left with no option except to call the meeting of State General so that a decision can be taken to increase the taxes for more collection of taxes. इस तरह से हम कह सकते हैं कि इस प्रकार की स्थितियों ने भी फ्रांस में क्रांति लाने में और भी काफी अधिक सहायता की। इसके अलावा हम देखेंगे now further the another factors under economic couch is that first and second estate was almost exempted from giving any tax to the state, and the total burden of the tax was given by only the third estate. And this privileged class, first and the second estate, really owned 60% of the land of the country, yet paid negligible tax to the government. But the smaller peasants, laborers and servants, which owned only 40% of the land of the country, had to pay most of the tax to the state. It had really made the condition worst, especially poor now became poorer. Per year their condition were going bad. So these poor were under pressure but have no way. The poor had also destined to work in the form of workers on the farms and the fields of the feudals. Feudals, that means at that time who were in royal service as servants in their household or work as a worker in their farms. Even if required, they had to work as a soldier in their personal military, even without wage, as manorial dues. Manorial dues really was a customary tax on the peasantry and the people of the third estate, and they had to pay it to their menor, feudals, concerning feudals, without denying. It was really very much insultative, yet had to bear, obey. So, in fact, the people of the third estate had to pay many more taxes. Among them, some of are one, tithes. This tithe was a tax on agro products, which was 1/10 of the total produce. It was levied by church. The second, tithe. It was a direct tax given to state, except some more indirect taxes also the people of the third estate had to pay time to time according to their goods they consume, like tobacco and the salt, etc. So this is the really now the explanation about the economic causes. Now in the next video I will put all the facts before you related to political cause, role of the philosophers in the French Revolution, and some information about it also to the immediate cause in the happening of the French Revolution, the Great French Revolution of 1789. So now thank you.